Wow, I got my buddy here, huh? Look at this. Look who came to.
All right.
Look who came to the show, Teo.
Yeah.
Look who showed up today. Yeah, huh?
Probably
right?
sleep.
Good evening, everybody, from beautiful Apollo Beach, Florida, the South Shore Live Studios here. We want to welcome you, and we want to say hi to everyone out there, and we appreciate everyone watching. We are lucky enough to have Zach with us tonight. We also have Tim with us tonight. Of course, my co-host and local authority about everything Apollo Beach.
I don't know about that, but at least we have a good
Mr.
time.
Teo. And behind the counter, we have Joanne from JD Coaching and Apollo Beach Publishing. And she's got a great digital magazine. And to her left, we have the assistant button pusher from our friends at Pure Romance, Trish. And we'll get to her later. It's a little early in the show to get to Trish.
But what will happen is hopefully she found we've been playing with sound bites. So if you hear all those weird sounds, that's like not us. That's Trish. It's Trish's fault, so we can blame Trish.
Exactly.
There you
and
go.
with us, we have Zach Stein with us. He is an Australian comic.
I am not Australian. How are you guys doing?
With a name like that, you're not Australian. Really?
I'm a Jew.
No.
I mean, not that they don't have them down under, but
Well, yeah, but a Jew comic? Come on.
Duke, yeah, they don't only so
you-
many.
You're like the first, I think. Second, maybe Lenny Bruce.
Hey, maybe Jerry Seinfeld. I don't know. There's a few out there.
Who?
Yeah.
Never heard of him.
Yeah.
We actually have tickets for him over at Ruth Eckerd in December. So we'll be seeing him there. Welcome to our show. I fell in love with Zach for two reasons. I saw him online. I saw his hair. It reminded me of when I had all my hair. So I saw him, and he also looks a little bit like my cousin. So between me losing my hair, my cousin getting older, and seeing him, I'm like, this guy's going to be good. And I watched his routine online. It was terrific. So welcome to our
But
show.
is he a Bucks fan?
Oh, yes, he is.
See, there. That's the reason why he's on the show then.
Well, no. I'm a Bucks fan. We all know that.
Second-
But he learned humility, and we'll thank the Glazers on that one as well. So tell us about your journey about being a comedian. What's so funny, man?
Yeah, I'm just out here having the best time of my life, trying to have adventures and just make every moment count. And that's really what comedy's all about. That's what started this journey. You know, I grinded about 5 months ago through this open mic scene.
The open mic.
Open mic. And,
The
you know,
dirty girl.
you feel at first, no doubt about it, like you have the next day shame, open mic shame for some reason.
Yeah, I've been there. I did it with music.
Yeah, but you know, you get out of that, you start having some people book you, get a
Hey,
little
cut your teeth. What'd you do beforehand?
well, what I do professionally, you know,
Who pays the bills?
who pays the bills? Right now, my wife pays the bills. My wife's a
Good.
teacher. Yeah, she's great. She's wonderful. Super happy with her, proud of her. We've got a great family.
Nice.
But yeah, I mean, just I really wanted to live every moment, have all the adventures I could have. Fell in love with stand up. I realized that there's a budding scene out there, and I said,
There
"The hell
is.
yeah, there really is. There's a lot of talent, a glutton of talent." And then the cool thing is you can see the guys start to rise up. Then we pass them out to other places like Austin and New York, and then you know they're really excelling. And I'm just really happy to be part of that scene and growing and getting better at my craft.
Well,
Cool.
you're coming into a time that looks like the handcuffs are off. You know that for the past few years everything has to been a specific way presented, and now people are looking to get a little slapped around, which is okay. They need to be shook up a little bit about many things, but things are loosening up. So, how's the comic scene in Tampa, Orlando? Is it flourishing? What kind of a scene we got around here?
It's really flourishing. You know, when I was a kid, I'm second generation Tampa native, going back to being a Bucks fan. My dad's
Go Bucks!
and always been going to games since I was a little one. But anyways, there
Sombrero.
was Side Splitters over on Dale Mabry, and
Oh, no way.
there was what is now the Funny Bone, which used to be Improv and Ybor, and that was pretty much the scene. But since then, a lot of things have popped open. You got real small comedy clubs that cater to local audiences and with local comics, Gimmick and Ybor. There's Sunshine City Comedy in St. Pete. There's Laugh Out Lounge in Winter Haven, and there's more. And then there's just lots and lots of bars, Conva lounges, setting up open mics, doing comedy showcases. And so what used to be just, you know, you get your big time act at the two places has changed into a whole local scene with lots of great talent. People put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, put on great shows. I don't
Getting
think
people outside and spending some money too.
Yeah.
well, absolutely. That's great for the, you know, every place I go to that's not a comedy club. I mean, there's 20 comics there a night. A lot of them, sometimes they pay $5 a head to the joint just to get their 5 minutes of mic time. That alone is a great night. Then you put on a good show. You got people coming in, people laughing, people staying, having drinks. And so, yeah, it's just super fun to be a part of all that. So, yeah, go ahead.
So what's one of your trending jokes? You know, with today's topics, what's your go-to that just causes somebody to bust a gut?
You know, you can't really do it outside of the segment of a set. I'd be real
Right.
cheesy. I like to go with right away. You want to get a quick, easy laugh. You want to make people comfortable. I'll bust out, say something like, "Hey guys, I'm a Jewish guy. I go by the pronouns he, Hebrew." You know, that'll get them.
I like
You
See,
that.
there it goes. That works.
Yep.
Very good, very good. What else do you have, Shecky?
You know, between you and the crowd, there's a likability factor. They want you to play with them a little bit, but also it's a song and dance. You know, you don't get to cross home plate right away. It takes some time, some whining and dining. That's what learning all this craft is about. And different groups, you know, different rooms, different types of people, and so it's a wild ride.
Well, let me ask you something. You just hit a soft spot. Do you play to the room, or do you play just your repertoire? Looking at the crowd, can you change it up? Do you feel
Oh,
comfortable changing it up?
yeah. Now, I'm not to the point where I know guys, some good guys, and they got a joke book for every type of crowd they think that is in front of them, or little tricks and tools. I'm not quite there yet, but I tried to adjust my set to where I think it's going to hit at the right time. You definitely know people that you take a look, you room scan who's going to play with me, who's going to not. I like to work in appropriate crowd work, and when I say appropriate, I mean like PC. I mean like when it fits, when the time's right. I don't like to be overly dependent on it, because I want them to know that I'm also there to put on a good show. But when you can participate with the people, it's an interactive art form. People don't want you talking at them; they want you talking with them. And so,
Tell me
yeah,
about, I was gonna say, tell me about Comedy Under the Stars.
yeah, that's I'm super excited about that. It's a huge show. We got Johnny B from 1025 The Bone. He's
The Bone,
a
brother.
local legend. I mean, he's hitting up clubs every night. He's constantly working. He's actually going to have a special. I'm giving him a plug unnecessarily, but he's going to have his own special. He's filming in Newport Richie coming up. But we
That's
got
$4, dude. $4 residual right there.
What's that?
It's a $4 residual.
I should.
$4 is $4.
But we got, so this Sunday, it's a 3-day weekend, right? It's Labor Day weekend. We're going to put on a great show. He is headlining Johnny B. We got wonderful comic Manny Gassett, another wonderful comic, Ricky Hicken, and then myself. I'll be opening up for those gentlemen. I'm really excited about it. It's Loudmouth Bar and Grill. They put on a great joint. We usually do one show a month there, and it's just going to be a lot of fun.
How long is one of your sets? How long is one of your sets?
Yeah, I can work 20 minutes. I can work 20 minutes.
Oh, no shit.
Okay.
20 minutes straight, huh?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I can definitely do that. You constantly are working on tight fives, so that's kind of where you go. And when you get a sweet five, maybe start working on a new thing. And so yeah, I'm confident in my ability to do that. I just hosted a place this past Saturday, their monthly comedy club. It's Paradise Pub in Seminole, Florida. It's their comedy night. We actually got one coming up again, September 20th, and I'm on the. I'm opening up. I'm doing the transitions in between comics. I'm getting a lot of mic time. That's a great show. That's a free show. The Loudmouth show, Comedy Under the Stars, that's a $15 ticket right now, but you can get that. It's a good show. Or Paradise Pub, though, that's a free one. You just come, have a great time, get a few drinks, and enjoy some really hardworking, talented people that want an opportunity to give you a good night out.
I was going to ask you, how long is a normal set night? Like 2 hours, 3 hours that fills a room?
Yeah, that's a great question. So you're going to have like a comedy showcase. I think is going to give you about a 2-hour show usually. And then some of those open mics, if it's a place that has a bar, that can drag. I mean, those shows can
no shit.
Yeah.
Free bird, dude. Come on.
It's long. It's a long night. Free bird.
I used to do it. I used to bring a full back line, and we it was a dual-edged sword. It was like, hey, if we weren't busy, we get to play. But if we were busy, we got paid for doing dick. But the best part was, if the guys were good, we got some good music, but we still got paid to hear horrible music.
Oh, yeah.
So a good night was always a bad night, and a bad night was always a good night. And that's how I looked at open mics.
Oh,
and it's got to be the same with comedy, too, because you're sticking around there. You're waiting for this guy, and you're ready to go, and the place is now 10:30, and it's either empty or full. You're like, shit, I was ready to go 25 minutes ago.
I mean, that's exactly like that. You got to have passion. You got to have a lot of passion. You got to have a lot of discipline. And I do hate those nights. I'm not going to lie. I like booking shows. I like knowing when I'm going to be up and everything. But, you're never going to get good if you don't go and grind. And that's what it's all about.
Oh, yeah. It's all about the grind. And that's what the show's about. The show is pretty much designed about the local business area here. And we're getting a lot of growth. You're in an area which is not overgrown, but it's revitalizing. Those houses that people have been living in for 30, 40 years. There's new families now, and they're bringing in what they like. And they don't want to go to the bowling alley. They want to see a comic, or they want to go to a place and jump around in a big trampoline. So things are changing. And down here in Apollo Beach, the South Shore area, it's just blowing up. And we're getting a lot of people that, even myself as a somewhat transplant, I was here half my life, and now I'm back. And once a Floridian, always a Floridian. And we're seeing local businesses here, and you're a business. I mean, let's face it. Mm-hmm. What you do pays your bills, or at least tries to, and you have an environment that you have to work around. We're all dealing with the same issues. People, be like, $20 is a little expensive to walk in the door. maybe I could do 15. You know, those days of flowing money
Yeah.
are gone in some respects right now. And we're not going to go that direction yet, unless you want to stick around for that direction, because we have another comic in the room.
Oh, wow.
We have Hillsborough County running representative for. Go right ahead, Tim.
Harbor Bay CDD. It's more commonly known as Mirror Bay.
Mirror Bay Community, which is, if you don't know, one of the
It's in North Ruskin.
North Ruskin.
Yeah, don't tell them that.
Yeah, right.
They get upset about that.
It's a very gated community, nicer place, higher end community, big, been growing. It's one of the earliest ones here. Waterfront community in some respects. It's a nice place, and I think it has the population of all of Apollo Beach when I moved in now in that whole place.
Probably. I mean, how many homes are in Mirror Bay?
So what do we
Because you have
now?
a couple new things, right? You got like the
1,200?
Admiral Point,
Almost 1,600. Yeah.
1,600. So when I moved
When you
here, there were 1,178 homes in Apollo Beach, and that was OG. You know, Apollo Beach stopped at pretty much Miller Mac
Yeah, I mean, so
And-
think about that.
and 41 and Dickman.
So there was 1,700 houses when he moved in. That's Teo. And then now where he's living, one development alone has 1,700 houses. So there's a lot of opportunity here. There's even clubs for you to come over and check out. They have some comedy nights, and I'm sure some of the people around here, if you tag the show and stuff like that, they'll say, hey, we know this guy in St. Pete. You know, because again, no shows are half the reason why you get business in this world, because the opportunity is there for you to hop in and show a good job.
Oh,
And bands, comedians, they have, you know, double bookings. It all happens.
Yeah, I not to cut you off. I work a lot in St. Pete, my shows recently, but I'm actually a Brandon guy. I'm not too far from you.
Oh, no
guys.
shit.
Yeah,
Oh.
I used to live in Riverview. So yeah, shout out to Apollo Beach. If there is any
Yep.
interested in doing a monthly open mic for me to host, a monthly showcase, I know comics will bring people in. We'll have a great time.
Well, if you're close enough and you want to come on in,
Absolutely.
you're welcome to hit the couch here,
Yeah.
and not in the way that most people think. Join us. We can share some comedic journey.
Absolutely.
And,
as long as
yeah.
the mayor of North Apollo Beach, you gonna be there too, buddy?
Oh,
I'm always here.
Tay is always there.
Yeah. Trust me, there will be
All
a
right.
statue. If not, I will make sure there's a statue of here.
Oh,
I don't know what the fuck it'll be made out of.
I don't
I
know.
look
Like
forward-
maybe like crushed bottles.
We're gonna have
There
to
you
get
go.
that up on the tower.
Yeah, cigars. Hey, I am not. Yeah.
We got to get that up on the tower.
So
I would estimate that would be a very difficult climb with a cigar and flip flops. Not that I would know personally, but it might take 2 full cigars to climb the tower.
You know you can do anything once, right?
one time, you know, I'll do anything once except 2 things.
And carrying that stuffed animal was
I'll carry a
would
stuffed
be
animal,
difficult coming down.
but
the
they're just
ladder.
2 things that, you know, at that point I should be dead. But that being said,
So
Um,
hey, I
go
have a
ahead.
question. So what is a CCD, CDD,
CDD.
ACDC, whatever?
CDD.
CDD.
Facetiously, it's the biggest scam developers ever perpetrated on the state of Florida.
Okay,
and with that, we're going to take a break
and then we're coming back.
and we're going to come back. Zach, did you want to stay with us?
Yeah, I'll stay with you guys for another round.
You
All right.
got it.
Sounds good.
All right.
The Web Design Ninja is your one-stop shop for all things internet. Our dedicated team has been building internet solutions for businesses large and small since 1993. We specialize in creating eye-catching designs, search engine optimization, complex e-commerce, and custom app integration. Whether you need a simple website or a complex e-commerce or phone app, our team of experts is here for you. Give us a call today. We're here to help.
Hey, let's go to Ybor Grill.
Today's featured home is in the desirable community of Waterset. It's nestled in a cozy little cul-de-sac. This home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 2,538 square feet, complete with a pool and a spa in your very own beautiful backyard. The Waterset community has dog parks, pools, miles of walking trails, gyms, tennis courts, and more. To know more about this home, give me a call. My number is 702-858-5454.
Did you know that South Shore Cleaning and Supply is locally owned and operated for over 5 years? Oh, there's Howard the owner. Everyone say hi to Howard. You also might have seen one of their vehicles around town. They offer a variety of cleaning services from carpets to tile and grout, laminate and wood floorings, as well as pet remediation and much more. Call today for a free estimate at 8133-642185.
Today's feature. Welcome to your new home in Waterset. This is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath, single-family home in the sought-after community of Waterset. With a low HOA and tons of amenities in the community, you will absolutely love living in this house. Give me a call at 702-858-5454 and I'll show you in person.
Myself.
If when I ask you to, can you?
And hey, welcome back, everybody. And hey, before we go on to the next topic and get into the politics, but not really politics, but kind of politics, we got to do our disclaimer. Okay? So, things on the show are.
Hold
do
on,
we actually have it typed out? We might
I
have
have it typed out,
finally.
but there's no light in here. But for informational purposes only, I need glasses.
This podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered legal, health, tax, or professional advice. We are not experts in those fields. Well, we might be, but we are just passionate conversationalists. We assume no liability. We are not responsible for any losses, damages, liabilities that may arise from the use of this podcast or following our stupid advice or not so stupid advice. Listen at your own risk. We promise it's mostly fun. This is not a substitute for professional advice. If we discuss health or legal or whatever, remember, we're not doctors. Consult a licensed professional for personalized advice, and guest opinions. Views expressed by our guests may or may not be necessarily reflect those of the host or management. We're all about having diverse perspectives. Now, let's get back to our show. Welcome, Mr. Tim Nargi.
Thank you. Thank you for having me this evening.
Thank you for coming. So we have a few questions for Tim. We explained that Mirror Bay is a huge community here located in South Shore, and they have their own committee, and you're running for that committee, correct?
Correct. It's called Board of Supervisors.
Okay.
It is an elected position. There's 5 positions currently. That's what there are by law, I guess. 2 seats are up this year, and in 2 years from now, it'll be 3.
Okay.
And it just keeps flipping back and forth. You have
So-
a 4-year term.
So is that different than there's an HOA and a CDD?
Correct.
Okay.
Totally 2 separate entities. There is a clear delineation line between the 2
Of responsibility.
of responsibilities. You do
Wh-
not
what-
cross over.
What are the before I ask, is your position a volunteer position?
Basically, we
You get a stipend?
yeah, we get $200 big dollars a month for doing this,
Whoa.
and we only put in
I'm in.
maybe 60 hours a week
Yeah.
if we're lucky.
So now we're going to slave labor. Continue.
Yes.
Okay. So what's the difference? What are the different roles to put you on the hot seat? We should have like a hot seat button, but to put you on the hot seat, what is the HOA responsible for, and what is the
Exactly.
CDD responsible?
Okay,
for?
so I don't proclaim to know the HOA side
Okay.
because I try to stay out of it.
Zach, you got
Cool. That's a
However-
disclaimer. Okay. That's part of the disclaimer.
Yeah,
that-
well, no,
okay.
it's smart to because if you start melting one into the other and you mix the colors, you come out with brown. Right?
And I know
It
that
doesn't
you
work.
are, yeah, and I know
There you
you
go.
are a stickler for the rules of what can and cannot
Yes.
be done and all of that kind of stuff.
So your
which is
HOA
part of why we're
basically
really
makes
good
sure
friends.
that your trees are right, your grass is cut, and your color of your house isn't some crazy thing. Okay?
mid-level kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. You don't have garbage out there.
Your gutters are
nine yards.
falling off.
CDD, we actually provide the services, so to speak, operation and maintenance of the development.
Okay.
Now we have 750 something acres. It's
Right.
huge. People don't realize how big it is.
Damn.
And
you have the lift, you have the boat lift.
Yep, we have
So that falls under the CDD.
it falls under the CDD.
Okay.
The clubhouse, if you've seen our clubhouse, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
gorgeous clubhouse.
Yep, yep.
The pool,
I was
we
gonna
have a
say, we've
resort
been to a
style
wedding
pool. It's
there, but
beautiful.
I can't talk about that wedding.
Yeah, I've been to the same one.
Yeah.
What else we got there? We got the playgrounds for the kids. We got the
Yep.
tennis courts. We got basketball courts.
Common area.
There's common areas, yes. You know,
Yep.
just for kids to be able to use for
Yeah.
like a green space. Adults
Now, how
too,
about
everybody.
the gates and that kind of stuff? Is that the CDD as well?
Yes, the
Okay.
gates are the CDD as well, but it is not for the security of the people. It is such a pain for us.
I know.
So a CDD basically is built on bonds.
Okay.
You
correct.
basically have two type of bonds. You have an amenities bonds, which is everything we just talked about.
Yep.
Your pool, your boat lift, and so forth. Then you have your infrastructure. That's your roads, your drainage
Sidewalk.
system,
Well,
sidewalk, stuff
Sewer.
like that. Landscaping.
Yeah.
You ever come into
Oh, I've watched
Mirror
it.
Bay, you see the landscaping there?
takes like a month to do one
It's-
section. I mean, it's just a 24/7.
It's like a bridge.
They could do it.
Get to the
forever.
end, come back.
Yeah.
Get to the end, come
Yep,
back.
it's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's
Like I
stunning.
said, we have 750 something acres that have to be taken care of.
Yep.
What a lot of people don't know about Mirror Bay, it's actually a stormwater management system at the end of the day. We're at the end of the line.
Yep.
So every drop of water from the other side of 75 cross 41 ends up in our area.
in our
Right.
bubble.
And it has to be built right.
Yep.
If it's not built right, falls apart, that falls apart, and
Gotcha.
everything upriver just becomes a problem.
Okay.
That is one of the biggest things. So, but from that, we became a boating community.
Right.
There's canals in there and a lot of waterfront homes. People enjoy just walking out their backyard right to their boat and head on out to the bay. You know what that's like.
Yep. Every day.
Yep.
So what issues are you running into there that are just not being addressed?
So I know I was facetious about the developers thing, but the developers actually work with the state of Florida and they come up with this idea. And this way they can get all the money they need. It's a bond. It's a public bond. It has to be public. And you get lower rates and the government backs it.
Okay.
That's passed on to the people as they move in. Now we're getting towards the end where the developer is going to be gone.
See ya.
Yep. But
Yeah. So
easier said than
20
done.
20
Oh, yeah.
years, right? It's been.
It's been too long because there were downturns. There's a one
But I
section
mean,
that's
Mirror
been
Bay
sold 7
started
times.
in 2003, right? Yeah.
2002 was the original
Okay.
drawing package that went out.
Right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So on their way out the door, developers don't like to lose money,
Right.
but they're required to turn over parcels in what we call good working order. That's government for figure it out.
Right.
And that's where I have to come in
Okay.
with our staff and 4 other supervisors to try to figure out what's the best way forward
Okay.
to work with this developer to make sure that we are made whole.
Yep.
So
Exit strategy.
So to give you now, everybody's probably heard about the seawall.
Right.
If people don't know, the seawall failed, the original build. This is before I moved in. I didn't do it.
Yep.
Anyway, I kind of was the tip of the spear fighting that to make sure it was done the right way. But let me tell you something. There were so many people, passionate people in Mirror Bay that really worked behind the scenes to get stuff done. A lot smarter than me in a lot of areas. I can think of a couple. They don't want to be named, but they deserve a lot of the credit. Dealing with all the different agencies. Because remember, we're a government agency. Quasi-government is what the technical term is.
Sure.
We swear an oath to the state of Florida,
Okay.
just like I did for the United States Navy. Okay. And we have to uphold those statutes.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes,
So
sir. Yes, yes.
Do you ask you a question real quick?
Yeah, what you got, Zach?
So, hey, you said it's an elected position, right? Are you running unopposed or?
no, I'm actually so there's 2 seats up. This one is like a head scratcher.
Okay.
So seat number 4 is the one I'm running for.
Charlie wants to.
Yeah,
number
see?
5.
And there's seat number
Charlie's saying vote
5.
for-
The guy over there is running unopposed.
Really?
Really?
Yeah, there was 2. Guy dropped out. Great
Yeah.
guy. Both guys would have been a great asset. I know them both. Great guys. The seat I'm running for, there's actually 3 people running for it.
Coincidentally.
Out of the blue, 2 guys showed up on the last day to sign
Yeah.
up,
Sign up.
and
Okay.
I'm scratching my head over that one. But okay, it is what it is.
Well, Christine, if you wouldn't mind, if you look in the left-hand corner here, I believe you'll be able to see that we have this fantastic giveaway that we're going to get. over there, and we're going to show you what we're going to give away tonight. And we hope that you like and share. And also, can you grab me that shirt real
Oh,
quick? Thank
now
you.
she wants it. Okay.
Thank you. And I'm not going to say I'm biased, but I really don't know much about Mirror Bay and what's going over there. But this shirt tonight, okay, somebody's going to win this vote for Tim. You
There we
like
go.
that?
That's great. Thank
That's
you.
great. No worries. So we're going to let him hold this shirt right now to get all Tim on it. You get Tim, and he may even sign it for you too, because hopefully he'll be an elected official, and it might be, it's classic. There's one of a kind.
There you go. That's the proper laugh track.
Here we go. Is that an endorsement for someone who can't vote for him?
Yeah.
Right there you go.
So yeah, it's all so people within Mirror Bay cast the votes, right? So
Correct. So
So those of us in the poor part of Apollo Beach,
Yeah.
we won't be on the ballot.
well, you don't have to deal with all that.
Is this
Hearsay.
considered a donation? Is that a donation, or is that? I'm sure. Do I need a 1099 for what I'm
No,
giving in here for?
No,
Okay.
we will be 100% above board. 'Cause as
Alrighty.
Teo said, I am a stickler for the
Oh, yeah.
rules.
So what else is going on over there that are issues that have to be addressed?
So, like I said, the developer's getting ready to leave.
Okay.
We have a real big issue coming up on the lagoon. We don't own the lagoon. There's a lot of issues on it. They keep claiming they have no say so over it. They don't have to fix it, so to speak. I've done a bunch of research on it, and this is where that 60 hours a week comes in.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've worked with the lawyers. I've worked with the engineers to determine, what's there, what are the requirements, and I believe we're in a good place to make sure that they're going to have to pony up to fix it.
Fix it or turn it over.
Yeah, because we don't want the people to pay for it. We had
Right.
to pay for the seawall because at that time they got away with turning it over. I don't know the whole history.
Right.
But the people ended up. We had to take out yet another.
Oh yeah,
bond.
you had to pick up the
Right.
tab on that.
We had to pick up the tab. It was what, $21 million?
Hey,
That
I
hurt.
just, we,
Hey,
we
Zach,
just redid
that hurt.
ours.
You
We
got
just
21
redid
million
ours.
you can give this guy?
Yeah, it's easy. I'll ask my grandfather. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We got you. Like that. We know people.
So, as a passionate, person of politics, why you? Why would I vote for you? Out of curiosity, if I live there versus the other people.
That's a great question. So I guess they're calling me a politician now. I had nothing to do with this type of stuff till we moved down here. Nothing. We lost our house in the housing bubble, Washington D.C.
Yep.
Put ourselves together, paid back all our bills, and we decided to move down here.
Get out of Dodge.
Yep, we had some really good friends that preceded us down here. What, 3-4 years? Come on down. We moved down, and they left.
Who needs friends like those, right?
So I'm gonna answer the question. So
Awesome.
I got an email one day, and they were talking about basically sticking it to us again, and I said, nay.
It's not happening. Once.
That's from a comedian I love, John Panette.
There you go.
God rest his soul. But that's how I got involved. And the next thing you know, I'm appointed to office, and that was a big stick. Nobody liked that. Then I ran. I lost.
Yep.
But then I ran again because the policies that were being set by the people at the time, people didn't like it. And I came in and said, look, this is what I'm going to do. So why would you vote for me? I'm going to stick to every single rule that there is. I'm always going to fight for the resident first. Matter of fact, my whole history on the board is if the resident is 49% right, I'm going to make a reason why they're 50.1% right.
There you go.
Because at the end of the day, the residents are the CDD.
Right.
Okay. And I'm always looking out for the residents. Christine and I, my lovely wife, we actually got involved with a lot of the clubs there before when we just moved in. So we got to know everybody.
Early on.
Yeah. So we were always just part of everything anyway. So it wasn't like I was like, oh, hey, vote for me. I'm a great guy, whatever.
Do you have a bunch of people that just hop in for no reason?
What do you mean?
Just
For the position?
yeah, just
Yeah,
like, hey, I'm
sometimes
here-
I scratch my head and I'm trying
here
to
for
figure out
3
why they're
months
doing
and
it.
everything sucks, and I want to fix everything.
No, most people don't know what they're getting into. I didn't
Yeah.
either. Swear to
Right.
God. My first year,
Well,
I
when
floundered.
you first did, and,
Yep.
and you were looking at it, and I'm like, oh, it doesn't look like it's that much. And then once you got elected, and then once you're involved, it's like, okay, this is a lot of stuff.
It is.
You know,
The other side of the table is so much different. You'd be on what I call this side of the table, the resident side of the table. And they get up there and they say, "Hey, this is wrong. This is wrong. This is wrong," and they're partially correct,
Mhm.
but they don't understand how it all works.
How it comes together.
And that's what your job is on the other side. Because at the end of the day, we tax the people. The
Yep.
taxes that you pay in Mirror Bay, your Mirror Bay tax, as I call it,
Yeah.
stays in Mirror Bay.
Yeah, doesn't yeah.
So basically, we have $10 million tax
Coming in a year.
coming in, but $6 million of it goes right to the bond.
Right.
There's nothing you can do about it. So you got $4 million left over. And here's the part where everybody goes, "Oh, you need to be a financial person." That drives me crazy. No.
No.
So a supervisor's job is to make policy and enforce policy. That's really the top level.
Okay.
Then our charter is operation and maintenance. Well, simple enough.
Yep.
Right? Okay. My second time on the board, when I got elected, I actually turned and I said, "Look, we're going to get back to the basics." I was in the Navy, and we had a saying called "polish the brass and stop building aircraft carriers." Well, what that really comes down to, polishing the brass. If you don't keep your ship in tip-top shape, you're sinking, my friend.
Right.
So the ship
It's
that
all
you're
about
on is what you
maintenance.
want to keep.
Maintenance.
Exactly.
Maintenance.
And the place is 22 years old.
Yeah.
So I focused on that.
And it's on the water. I mean,
and it's on the water.
the
Oh,
salt water beats
salt-
the
yeah,
crap out of
exactly.
everything. Beats the crap out of stuff over here. Well, we're 3 miles off, and we still every 5 years got to replace pretty much everything.
Oh yeah.
You know, I never painted my house once in my life. We've owned 2-3 houses, whatever. I'm in my 50s. I've painted it twice now.
Yeah.
I never painted a house. I lived in one for 16 years, never needed paint. This
Yeah.
one, 11, 12 years, never needed paint. This one, 3 years in,
And
gotta paint
stuff,
the
and
house.
stuff that can't rust.
Oh yeah,
You know, you got rust spots on aluminum. You got rust spots on stainless. You got-
stainless steel gets
know,
rustier.
Well, that's just because of the quality of
Sheila
stainless
Stainless
But
steel
yeah.
gets rust. That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go
So
Sheila.
so part of this is, oh, you need to be a financial person, right? And that really bothers me because we don't do that.
Right.
There's a management company you're required to have by law. It's written in the statute. You're required to have an engineer by law. It's in the statute. Well, why do you think they picked those two? Somebody's got to manage the place day to day.
Yep.
And the engineers are going to deal with the stormwater management system
Correct.
and the roads and on and on and on and on, right? And then they're the ones who pick the staff or figure out how we're going to, take care of stuff.
And they have a budget. You have X amount of dollars.
That's
So
it.
what?
And
And they
you
know
gotta
this
run your-
because
Your business within the budget.
when the
It's just-
developer first made the place, they said, "Okay, here's the cost of everything," and then they get analysts who say, "Okay, in 10 years this is going to break, and
So it's gonna-
12, and every year you have to throw money in what they call the reserve fund."
Yep.
That's part of that 10 million.
Yep.
So to speak, and then you have your operations, right? So the GMS is our management company now. They pretty much figure it out, and when they're all done, there might be 2%, 5 tops, for supervisors to decide. The 5 of us decide, well, what are we going to put the last 2 to 5% on?
We're gonna get some bushes over there. That's all we can
Yeah.
afford. Maybe do
Yeah.
lighting over here. That's it. We have like, I don't know, 20 and $100. Let's do something with it. Something like that.
But you've got to be able to understand what the engineers are telling you.
Oh yeah.
You got to be able to understand that when you get these bids come in, and people go, "Oh, we can get a better deal on that." Like, okay, say you get rid of your lawn maintenance guy, right?
Sure.
You go out and find 5 more tomorrow, right?
In a
Yep.
minute.
Right?
Absolutely in a minute.
Doesn't work
And
that way,
Who's going to show up?
right? It doesn't work that way
well,
here.
Well, first of all, who's going to take your job? They need to have literally 75 stand-ons on command because of the size of your place. So your size takes out 85% of any landscaper who could at all consider getting that job. When you think
Exactly.
about it, you're
Yeah.
done. It's not like you're getting a turf grower or you need someone that has staff and can move right over.
Exactly, and and it doesn't really work that way either.
Or has the money to do the startup cost to buy that business. Because there are companies that'll come in there and say, okay, we will buy all this stuff for your facility, providing we get this 3-year contract.
Exactly.
Well, it's just like the waste contract with Hillsborough County when they changed it. All of a sudden, none of us we're all missing garbage cans.
Oh yeah.
The pickups don't work. They can't figure out how to turn the trucks around in the cul-de-sacs. All that kind of stuff. So you have to stay on top of all those little
Correct.
details.
And the piece that everybody misses is, here's this Florida statute again. If it's over a certain dollar amount, it has to go out to bid.
Yep.
Yes, and that could take 3 to 4 months before
Oh,
it goes
yeah.
back on our desk to even vote who we want.
Correct.
So in the meantime, who's mowing the lawn for 4 months if you just
The person,
can
who,
somebody?
the person who's still
Nobody.
either
Yeah.
nobody or the person who's so bad at it still that you can't release them yet.
No,
Well,
and it gets worse and worse and
Yeah.
worse. Exactly.
And I mean, the thing that's amazing to me is that people don't get reserves. It was funny. We when Stacy and I first got married, we had a townhouse, and I actually wanted to put a hot tub on my patio, and that required the architectural committee. Blah 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 blah. So Stacy's like, "Well, why don't you just run and get on the board of the association?" So I did that, and we knew we were gonna have to put a roof in, and all the members are like, "Oh, but there's $800,000 in reserves," and we're like, "Yeah, but it's like $4 million for the roof. So where's that extra money coming from?" I mean, they don't have a realistic viewpoint in their mind, like your seawall expense, right? We all know that the seawalls are roughly, and the prices have really changed. I mean, I just did mine a year ago, and it was $30,000. Now it's
Damn.
close to $60,000 for that same seawall. And but they view it as that. They don't view it as, okay, you have all the home seawalls, but you also have the seawalls for all like the channel stuff. And there's a lot of like I know I've been to your house, right? And you have a whole area in front that's not like, I mean, that's a common area. Right?
Across, yes. So that's a common. So the seawalls in Mirror Bay are owned by the CDD.
Okay.
You own your seawall.
Right.
So because the government owns it, they had to fix it.
Gotcha.
So everybody was responsible for it.
Yeah.
But back in the day, people try to, and this is the thing that I hate the most about running for election or dealing with this job. The people want to fight the people.
Right.
That makes no sense. Because, well, I could do better than you. I could do better than you. Okay, great. I understand that. If you're really passionate, that's great. The fight should be against the developer or the vendor who's not doing their job.
Right.
Remember I said in the beginning, we set policy and we enforce policy. The enforcement part, that's not the fun part.
Right.
Setting it's easy.
Yeah.
The
I'm sure.
enforcement. And that's enforcement of a contract. So you need to understand contracts too.
Yep.
Now, I've been a government contractor pretty much my whole life.
Yeah,
So I've gone through all
you
these
have that down.
contracts. Right.
Yeah.
And you can't break that. You can't go out of bounds. And when you start going out of bounds and start trying to do their jobs for them, that's where you lose money.
Yep.
You're not supposed to do that. We can't act unilaterally. Everything has to happen at that board meeting.
Yep.
It's a part of the law as well as state of Florida.
We got people here saying, "Go Tim, vote for Tim."
Oh, nice. Thank you.
Stick it to Hillsborough. What else? Now the people. will
No,
pay for-
I have to say, Christine Miller just won her primary.
Okay.
Okay.
All
Now,
right.
now,
She's already come down to meet with us, start working with us.
Good.
Mike Owen is moving on up. I understand. He's already coming down to work with us.
There you go.
Owen
So-
actually did something.
Yep.
How did that happen?
Okay.
How-
Hey,
how did
you know
that
what?
happen?
You know what? If he's willing to work with us, I'll take it.
Absolutely.
Okay.
But I'm just shocked because I remember when he was originally running, I asked very pointed questions because I looked at the donations and 60, 70% of donations at $1,000 were all real estate developers. And he's like, "Oh, I'm going to control the growth." And he did nothing to control the growth. But the fact that he's willing to work with you guys, I'm shocked. That's a huge deal. And I'm glad with Christine Miller. I wasn't sure. That was one that was like trying to sort out the different primary positions as to who. This one was really tough because I look at the campaign contributions, and when you see all the real estate developers, you're like, okay, how can they push back against the development and manage the growth? And this election was really tough because we had a handful of people where there wasn't a clear right and wrong choice from the residents. So, and I think you were one that had talked about her. So that's really good. So she's met with you guys.
Yes.
And how's that work?
So we're setting up an event, a date, whatever you want to call it. Christine, Mike, myself. No, we're going to be getting together to discuss issues
Okay.
about remember I said about the water coming across?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Because that is a big issue. We like I said, all the water that comes across ends up in on us, and we have a lot of issues.
And a
because
lot
it.
of that ends up in the lagoon,
Correct.
and then it has to flow through the
Correct.
lagoon.
And it's all
out to
interconnected.
the
People don't
rest. Right.
understand how all this stuff is interconnected around here.
Yeah.
And if it doesn't work right, this place just falls apart. Everybody around us too.
Well,
It'll affect where you live.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
and
No
that's the
doubt.
point that, and we see that today, and my friends down in kind of South Ruskin,
Yeah, they got
they used to never flood, and we're going to let's talk about that when we get back from our break. So, thanks everybody for watching.
I would like to finish with this.
Good.
I'm going to finish answering that gentleman's question.
Okay.
I'm doing this for all my friends and neighbors and everybody in the neighborhood to make sure that we're taken care of,
And the property values.
and the proper values go up. Obviously, that's what we
Yep.
all want. But to make sure that every dollar that you spend in your taxes to Mirror Bay gets used wisely, and I'm comfortable with saying that because I inherited 4 years ago with a negative $1.5 million in the reserve, give or take.
Yep.
We are now plus 2.6 million.
There you go.
So I'm
Very
proud of
good.
that. And that's not just me. That's my
Right.
fellow board members.
We're working together.
Working together.
That's the guys working together.
Remember,
So
guys?
vote for Tim.
Vote
And
for
we're
Tim.
going to be back. We're going to take a short break and grab a cocktail, fresh cigar, and come back. And we'll be right back in just a minute.
And while you're doing that, make sure you like us on YouTube. I happen to be here with Aldo, who's in charge and runs the Cars and Coffee here in Waterset, which is a local phenomenon, which is kicking butt here and is a free event. He's going to tell you all about it. Hold tight.
Guys, my name is Aldo. I run the Waterset Cars and Coffee every second Saturday of the month from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. We're here every second Saturday of the month at the landing in Waterset.
What's it cost, Aldo?
Nothing. Here's the only thing I'm going to ask.
There you
If
go.
like cool cars, cool motorcycles. It doesn't matter if it's a classic, an exotic. It doesn't matter what it is. Come here. We need cool cars and cool people. If you're cool, you got to come over here.
You're welcome
Every
here.
Second Saturday of the month. Check it out. We have the food truck. We have White Claw. We have the vendors. Free coffee. We always have
I love the
everything.
Aki. You know I'm a Honda guy.
Yes, yes. So check out the Acura NSXs, the Cybertruck, everything. And guys, follow us. Follow us, Waterset Cars and Coffee, in Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Waterset Cars and Coffee every second Saturday of the month, 8 to 10 a.m. Have a great day, guys.
Check him out on South Shore Live, too.
Boom.
The Web Design Ninja is your one-stop shop for all things internet. Our dedicated team has been building internet solutions for businesses large and small since 1993. We specialize in creating eye-catching designs, search engine optimization, complex e-commerce, and custom app integration. Whether you need a simple website or a complex e-commerce or phone app, our team of experts is here for you. Give us a call today.
Today's featured home is in the desirable community of Waterset. It's nestled in a cozy little cul-de-sac. This home is a 3-bedroom, 2-bath with 2,538 square feet, complete with a pool and a spa in your very own beautiful backyard. The Waterset community has dog parks, pools, miles of walking trails, gyms, tennis courts, and more. To know more about this home, give me a call. My number is 702-858-5454.
And we're back. So thanks, everybody.
Teo, I'd like to thank some people.
Let's do that.
I'd like to thank our list of supporters right off the bat. Pure Romance Trish, we will get to her in a moment or two. Pool Kings of Apollo Beach, I want to say that the service, he's fantastic and a good friend. Flip Flop Shop in Ruskin, we were just talking about Pam on break.
My cool, not American style. Hey, dude.
UFOs,
We have them all.
you know. fantastic store, wonderful lady. She actually knows how to make your feet feel better. And as you get older, I'm told there's a few things you need in Florida. You need flip-flops, you need sunglasses, and you need sunscreen. Those are the 3 things you need. Also, too, Jen Bud
wine. Yeah.
and wine. Jen Bud from Sensei, she makes the room smell great. For all the shows, I'll just put that out there.
Yep.
And
since we're talking wine, we got to do JD Coaching, who stocks our fridge.
she stocks the fridge. If anyone wants a drink, we've got to call her out and the wine fridge. And she also engineers the show here. So let's give it up to her. And Trish, who is the master button pusher, should be pushing some applause right now. Also, to Cars and Coffee. You know, they do a great thing. Have you been there? Have you been to Cars and Coffee here in Waterset?
No, actually, no, I have not yet.
It's second Saturday at 8 to 10 o'clock in the morning. The cars that roll up in here are psychotic. I mean, they're from like little speeders to just straight out classics, Bel Airs and Lambos. First of all, whoa, someone likes Lambos. What's nice about it? He doesn't charge anyone.
Yeah, I mean, I'll come in my vet sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll bring me old Harley, and
It's something you can
a little
do
bit for everybody.
wholesomely with your kids. You see kids with, you know, their little buggies and get pushed around, and they're falling in love with cars. It's 2 hours once a month. They do a great job. And again, if you love cars, come to Waterset. Just, you know, you can leave afterwards, please. But when you go to the landing and check out some of these vehicles, you will remember places you were in life when you saw some of these cars. Camaros and Fiats and all sorts of cool like cars. And cars nowadays have no personality. That's why I'm very passionate about the Cars and Coffee. And they do a great job. So it's the second Saturday of every month here at the landing in Waterset. Again, Aldo and Andre do a great job with that, without a doubt. And he's also a guest on our show all the time too.
Yep.
So those are our shout outs. If we forgot anybody, we're sorry. And please make sure that you like ApolloBeachPublishing.com and our YouTube page, which is South Shore Live. Teo,
And there's no spacing there. It's just at South Shore Live on YouTube. And if like Apollo Beach Closed Group, stuff like that, I've been sharing from the YouTube channel. So you can check it out on YouTube.
If someone would like to come on the show or call in, are they welcome?
Yeah, absolutely. Give us a call. We'll get it scheduled. We're scheduling a few weeks out. We have a couple people that we've been talking to. So
we have Kitty Corral coming in.
And we're going to work
Got all the kitties
with Kelly from the Pilates room. She wants to come do it. And we have who messaged me the other day? Somebody messaged me the other day. Oh, Heather Slusher from Suncoast Wellness is we're going to have her on.
Cool.
And so we have a bunch of fun people that we will bring on and we'll talk. Let's see, what's the next up? We want to do, should we do food trucks?
Yeah, let's do some food trucks.
Let's do your food truck thing.
Well, I only got a few of them because I really don't get out much. I used to eat out a lot at my previous job, but now that I'm homebound and been stuck at my desk and loving it for 10 years, I really don't go out to many food trucks. But when I do, there are a few that are right off the bat terrific. Number one is Sweet Tea, Earl Bush's place.
Bush. Oh man, talk
Nailed
about those devil crabs, huh?
He nails it. His marketing is great. His food is terrific, and his demeanor is even the best.
You walk up and you feel like
happy.
You're like at a party at his backyard. I mean,
hey man, honestly, what can I get you?
He is one of those guys, and
they're my number one. And then we had one of our guests.
I got to shout out while you're looking that up. I got to shout out Rack City Ribs. I haven't been there in a little bit, but Alex does such a great job with his barbecue. And we talked about that the other day. I'm a master barbecue judge, and he just hits it out of the park. And I haven't been there recently due to some health issues, but there's a new one that I tried the other day, and I'm a huge fan of Cajun food. And Cajun food has been escaping us. I mean, there's Tibby's up in Brandon at the restaurant, but there was a place we used to go to in St. Pete, and it got changed. And I think it moved, but it's called like Roots on the River. And if you're headed down 41, just past like the Red Barn on the right-hand side, there's like a smoke shop or something.
Gotcha.
That has all the vape stuff, et cetera. And they're right in that little parking lot. And man, talk about good Cajun food. And it's not something you would expect. I wouldn't expect jambalaya or gumbo.
I love
stuff
jambalaya.
or the po' boys and stuff that are authentic New Orleans style Cajun food to come out of a food truck.
I'm told Faith Latin Cuisine behind what is that?
It's behind
41 and Apollo Beach Boulevard,
yeah,
tucked away.
Yeah, the Coldwell Banker. It's
behind the
where
quad.
We used to have our building there, and it's back in there. And we've eaten there a few times. It's always been great. It's always been great.
We are being asked if you can run for RCDD.
Really?
Hold on a second.
Okay, gonna have to add extra days to the week.
Dual housing. Can you have dual housing here? You like get a house here and then get a
Actually,
house
no.
there?
They actually check. No.
Oh yeah.
Yes. That's a good thing they check.
But
Yeah.
that's a compliment, though. When you
Yeah.
think about that, someone's like,
No,
"Hey,
that's well,
you know
thank
what?
you.
Just move to Mirror Bay. We know a few realtors that can hook you up.
Yeah, exactly.
They'll all work really hard for you. Every one of them.
Hey, and we are going to avoid the whole tagging realtors because we
Yeah.
have like
Yeah.
two in the
there's a
room
lot.
that'll start a fight. And
There's
then we have, like,
285
five.
realtors in Florida, and there's like only 126,000 in California, and the average state has like 2,000 realtors.
Oh yeah, it's
Here,
crazy.
you have literally 10,000 times the amount of realtors. It's just insane.
But you know what? That segues into our next story.
What's our next story, Jerry?
Well, you know, we're going to do the Teo story of the day, and this is going to be a little weird. So we talked about this earlier. So I've been doing web business since 1993, and
Before the internet was invented.
yep, and we pride ourselves on affordable and knowledgeable experience, and we do stuff. In my little ad, I just finally threw an ad up. We've been referral for however many years. And that's how 99% of our customers find us. We also fix a lot of stuff that other people can't do. And we had a situation a couple years ago where we got fired by a customer because it was $20 cheaper for them to do it themselves than to use our hosting service. And then they're going to maintain it, et cetera. And then they ended up, so they got rid of us for $20 a year. And I had to kind of chuckle. And then they hired a guy from India to come in and do it, that they found on Fiverr or whatever. And then there's been problems.
I'm holding my tongue so bad.
Oh, yeah.
I'm sorry. This is Robbie. I'm here from customer service. How can I help you, my friend? What?
And it seems like every 6 months they pop back up and say, oh, we have a problem. And they got locked out of the website. They don't know how. And I'm like, well, they can go into your hosting stuff and do that. And these people don't know how to do basic things, right? I'm like, well, what about the backup? Well, they disabled the backup because they didn't want to pay for a backup program, right? And this is all kind of stuff that we do. And it just comes down into customer service. And if you can differentiate yourself and provide better service at about the same price, I thought $20 was a freaking screaming deal for my profit, right?
But think about just the peace of mind.
And yet these people, I get the economy stuff, but these people shoot themselves in the foot because they end up paying more in the long run, not to mention all the different problems they've had. But it's one of those things where it's hard to find companies that provide good service. I mean, we talked about the other day. If you simply show up or return a phone call,
even a buddy of mine just said showing up is 50% of winning nowadays.
you know, I mean,
do you remember when people used to knock on your door here and ask you if you wanted services done? Don't get me wrong,
right?
But there was I appreciate entrepreneurship more than anyone in the world. You have no idea. We can go deep with me. I've been working since I'm 12. But the point is, when I first moved here, people were anxious to do work for you. I'll do your driveway. I'll do this. I'll do that. We'll mow your lawn. We'll do this. Now to get someone to actually show up, if they show up, you're like, hey.
Well, we just had a roof put on, and some people asked, why did I use? And we use Wayne Gonzalez Roofing, and we could not be happier. And why we went with them is because he made the process simple, right? I didn't have to ask. We called. He called right back. I didn't have to call to do a follow-up, right? I didn't have to go. And then they're like, oh, well, we'll have to look up this or we'll get back to you. I mean, and he came out. He was 5 minutes early. He sent a message going, hey, I'm going to be a couple minutes early. He showed up. He's like, okay, here's the price. This is what you get. And it was boom, 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 boom. All spelled out. So I knew I'm comparing apples to apples, apples to oranges. We had other people that we had to pull teeth going, hey, can I find out well, it's going to be a quality roof. Okay. Well, for 20 some $1,000, define a quality roof, because that's like saying you're going to get a car.
It's going to be a fine car.
And, you know,
and then they roll up with like,
but you don't know. But it was really interesting to watch.
Ford Focus.
And then some people followed up and go, can I ask why you did that? And I go,
fine car.
You didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Wayne Gonzalez, Stephen, Wayne's son, and they've been doing it for 30 some years. And I had about 8 friends, 5, 6, 7, 8 friends who had used them. But they just did it better. He just communicated better. And that's worth its weight to me. And I think
communication.
We wanted to talk about the customer service, particularly with the real estate thing is, pick somebody that knows the neighborhood and is familiar with what's going on. Like, obviously, Christine, Mira Bay, you live there, et cetera. Waterset. That doesn't mean that you don't know Mira Bay or you don't know Waterset, but there's nuances in all of these communities that
there was a reason why when we first moved down here, and I don't know much about Mira Bay, except that, again, a little side note here, the business that I own and created, South Shore Cleaning Supply, carpets, tiles, windows, and grout and upholstery, we do some business there. When we first moved here, we looked at Mira Bay first. Then we came to Waterset. At that time, sticking to the rules, we said these rules were not for us. Waterset is. Okay. So seeing that you're having issues there as well, and we have a different type of issues, but we still have issues. So Mira Bay and Waterset coexist, and yet they're so different. And this is a huge neighborhood too. Really?
Yeah, same.
Yeah, but it was developed under different
eras.
Well, yeah, but they also have different material requirements and stuff like that. Like Mira Bay's required Bermuda grass.
Right.
Huge. It's a huge maintenance issue.
It's a pain in the ass.
Right.
Looks great though.
Right.
Looks awesome.
Well, if properly maintained.
Yeah.
Well, of course, but right off the bat, there's your
first hurdle right there.
Right.
So what's the next hurdle? Now that we've got the Bermuda glass, everything has to be the shade of red. Whatever they chose. That's it. It's iron and that's it. But I don't know much about Mira Bay. It's beautiful though.
Yeah.
But you're right.
See, but now you're getting into HOA, and there's the line I will not cross.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So but anyway, to circle back, $20 a year ended up costing the customer significantly more in the long run.
A la carte.
So
they had to go a la carte with you.
They did, and it's more expensive.
Why not? That's why it's called a la carte.
And I kind of laugh because I get another email. I'm like, okay, you've been through like 5 people since you fired me, and you just keep coming back to me. Why don't you just come back to me?
Well, as we all know, people hate to admit that they were wrong, and we're going to find that out even more in the next few days.
Yeah,
and that's another thing: ownership and accountability. And these are all things that I've instilled in my kids and their business ethic. And I had an issue with another business in the past few days. I'm not going to say who it was, but I will say that when they said they were going to call me back before 2:00, I didn't get a call. And when I called back at 4:00, they said to me, we have no one here to take your phone call. We'll get back to you. When I called back this morning at 8:00, they said someone would get back to me. I called back at 10:30 and got a hold of the manager of the place, of which then she got back to me a half hour later. And then I had to contact her again 4:00 today. In return, though, they realized the error of their ways. And because of the whole loop of garbage, I was very kind. I just needed to know if and when. That was it. That's all I needed to know. Those are 2 questions. I'm not pushing you for time. I'm not pushing for anything. I just need to know if this is going to happen and when we're going to be done. It's not too hard. Just if you need 5 days, just tell me 5 days. You need 1 day, just tell me 1 day. That's it. It's not that hard. But the communication was lost. That being said, for the vendor, they lost all profit out of this deal, because then they said, for your inconvenience, we're going to absorb all the costs of this transaction, which was very nice. But as a business owner, if it was my business, I don't think that I'd make it so I'd have to absorb all those costs. I'd make sure that I made that phone call. And the customer, and I was very kind, because it wasn't even a game to me at this point. It was just, what is it going to take? I mean, when someone says to you, I'm going to get you to the service department, and then all of a sudden you're dumped into the sales department,
Oh yeah.
you're like, okay,
Oh.
no problem. And then they tell you, well, the service department's not taking, well, that's not service.
Yeah.
That's unservice. So that being said, the quality of everyone,
And
it
you know
seems
what?
to be
It
wavering
is.
as
And
far
the
as
other
their
thing is
staff.
You got to remember on a small business. Okay, so
Oh, this isn't a small business either.
but I know, but like in my situation, it's small business.
Oh,
Right?
yeah.
So it's myself and our project manager that answers the phone. If you get voicemail, we want to call people back right away. I hate people getting voicemail, but at the same time, like today, I was in meetings all day, all the way up till 4 o'clock. From
Well, we live
you
in a
know,
time of
8 o'clock
instant
this morning.
gratification.
And people are like, I want to call, I want to talk right now. And unfortunately, we're also building websites and building apps.
You're
and
doing the
everything
actual
else.
work.
Yeah.
So, but in return, there is a common place that we all live in now, that you've either gotten the message, you've seen the message, you can either address the message or not address the message. And you can always address the message with saying, hey, I'll get back to you,
Yep.
rather than leaving something hanging. And this world that we live in, everything is taken out of total context. All the affirmations and all bullshit that the way you read into statements, the way that the lack of civility and the lack of personality in statements that are made either electronically, through email, through text, through smoke signals, the inflection is gone. It's gone. You can just read something and just take it the wrong way, because it's so crafted in a way to be 100% ambiguous.
Yep.
And there's no spot on answers. And because people don't want to be accountable. When you're a small business, that $20 means a lot to you because you're accountable.
Yep.
You don't want to lose that $20. You're banking on it.
Right.
And not just that, they should be banking on you and the loyalty that you've given them over the years. We talked about this early today. He had a customer the same way in some respects. We want one room clean. Well, we have one spot. We don't want to clean the whole room. It's like, do you wash half a car? I mean,
Yeah.
it's you don't wash half a car. Well, then can I come over and get some stuff for you to clean my house? No, hire a professional. I don't know what to tell you at this point.
Yeah. You just, it's really different. It's, and
Can
I
I get
don't
a rib?
know-
One rib.
One rib.
Yeah.
One rib.
Yeah.
It's like, come on.
Can I get half a slice? Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, hey, we want to thank everybody for watching us. And if you want to be a guest, please reach out to myself or Howard. We want to thank ApolloBeachPublishing.com, which is kind of your one-stop source for all things entertainment. So like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at South Shore Live.
Any topics that you'd like us to discuss, if you'd like us to come on the
Shoot us
show?
a note. Yep. And we want to thank Pure Romance. Trish, thank you.
Trish, all right, Trish,
Making
a little
people
commercial.
smile every. Yep. PureRomanceByTrish.com.
Zach.
Cool Kings. Zach, we want to thank for
Zach's
having
coming back
here.
on the show. We want to thank him.
Yep. And Flip Flops, thanks for keeping those American style Hey Dudes in stock for us over there.
Let's go through the messages real quick. I hate this organization. Wow, we're not the only people.
Yep.
Tay-Tay's got family local. We got that going on. The distillery in St. Pete's good. What else we got going on here? We want to thank everyone again. Please like our show. Please like us on Facebook. Please tell your friends. Also, South Shore Live is a great place for parties, entertainment goods, and anything else you got tonight?
No, I'm good.
That's about it. We'll see you next week. Have a safe holiday, everybody.
Get out. Enjoy the sunset,
Guys, thanks for having me on tonight. I really appreciate
Yes.
it.
Hey, thanks for clearing that up too, because we've been in a discussion as somebody that doesn't have a HOA or CDD.
Lucky man.
I'm trying to go, okay, what exactly are the roles? So that was very informative, and we wish you luck with your election.
thank
and
you.
you have a fundraising event coming up, right?
Let's hear about it.
Well,
Go, go, go.
we had the fundraising event.
have-
last
You want to
week.
thank
But I thought-
anybody?
And I'm going
Did
to
I
thank,
see
yes.
something
There you
So
go.
September or what?
Latitudes of Apollo,
Yep.
they hosted us again. Those are great friends down there.
Yep.
And God, we had 20 different vendors. I mean, honey, help me out here because there were so many. Tangle Me Not, they're in the shopping center. So a lot of people don't know that the Mirror Bay Shopping Center is actually part of
Oh,
Mirror
no,
Bay.
no way.
It
Oh, yeah.
is. Okay.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
Matter of fact, they should be happy because I actually promoted a 0% budget this year.
Okay.
It got passed,
Good.
and their taxes actually went down a couple of points
Couldn't
now,
hurt.
so
for the business owner.
So I
Yep.
actually popped in. I was at Watts Dental today. I had an appointment at Watts there next to Apollo Latitudes, and then I popped into Mirror Bay, and I missed seeing. I got the wrong cart because it didn't have your wife's pretty face on there selling me a house.
Yeah,
But,
like you're moving anywhere.
Yeah, I am not moving. I am
No
there
way.
for life till my body is like drug out. But then it looks like that's starting to turn into Aldi's, man. That the shelves are starting to get really, really thin.
Yeah, that's the
so
word.
Is it September? It's going to become an Aldi's.
We don't control that. It's
Yeah, but
not
no.
control of
I
it,
did. I just meant
Yeah.
on the side because you guys are closer to there than I
Mhm.
am, and I don't get out much anymore. So
A big shout to Cigars on the Boulevard. We want to wish them good luck.
yeah, absolutely.
And also our friends Ali Serrano Portraits. She's terrific.
Yes.
And Pierre with the excellence in digital. He does great work for us. And again, South Shore Live V2. Yeah. We hope to see you soon. See you next Tuesday. Go Bucks. And thank you very much, everyone.